I'm sorry to hear, Steve, how low you've been feeling, and the hopeless feelings that you've been struggling with. As you say, just feeling quite depressed.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a lot lower this week, definitely. It's like I say, my sister was definitely shocked when she came round to see me the other day. She noticed it straight away. You know, I've got big bags under my eyes. I'm not sleeping again. I just feel like I really need to do something about it.
And indeed, that's our goal, to try to reduce that depression and, as you said earlier, to find more joy in your life. Do you have some thoughts about how we can reach that goal? So we know the destination is to reduce the depression, but the journey itself, how do you think we could best get there?
I don't know, maybe, I mean, I know we kind of probably need to talk a bit more about the past, but at the same time, I feel like we've talked an awful lot about the past. You know, there's all this other stuff that keeps coming up, and when we dive into the background, you know, I don't know. I mean, I want to try to understand it, but at the same time, I don't, you know, I mean, my sister, she's been great. She's been trying to encourage me to open up a bit about things, and it's just hard.
Very hard. And these are quite painful memories. And being human, we just naturally try to avoid the pain of those early childhood memories.
Well, yeah, there's that. But at the same time, you know, I sort of think, stop being silly. It really is just a case of stop being silly. I start trying to talk about it and I just feel silly even talking about it. And, you know, why can I not just block it out and not be silly, full stop?
Yeah. So as you talk, I do sense there's really two preferences there. A healthy part of you says, yes, my sister and I know this is really the core hurt and where I need to go. And then there's another part of you that sounds a little self-critical, a voice that says, this is just silly stuff, snap out of it. Yeah, am I getting that right?
Yeah, but, you know, I just don't like talking about those kind of memories. It's a bit hard.
It's very hard, and I hear that. And we certainly want to honor your preferences, Steve. And as I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think about the best path forward that honors the way you want to work. And the one part of you that says we should talk about that has good research support, good clinical experience, and yet I know it's the successful, effective way forward, but it is hard. And the other part, I'm concerned about how you're putting yourself down by saying, oh, this is just silly stuff. This is early trauma. It's not so silly. So I am concerned if we honor your preference to just say snap out of it, we're not going to get anywhere. But I hear clearly you have that voice saying that. Yes?
Yeah, I get that.
So how about if we start with that healthy side of you saying, let's explore the painful memories, knowing it will probably be quite effective, but that at times that negative voice of just forget about it, move on. I'm not the only one with a bad early life. We'll respect that, but sit it aside for now.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. That does sound good.
Perfect. And thanks for expressing both parts of that. That helps me really understand what you're struggling with.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So Sam, you've been talking about your anxiety and your fears and of kind of seeing friends and you know, how it can be really difficult for you in those social situations. And, you know, it kind of sounds like a bit of a vicious cycle, doesn't it? It's because what you're saying is about kind of withdrawing from people at college. And then as you withdraw from them, it becomes more difficult to have the confidence really to be around them. And I just wondered, you know, as we work together, if we kind of look at this issue around kind of maybe getting you back into those social settings and feeling more confident as you'd like to. Do you have any thoughts about what might be helpful? I know you mentioned about like kind of previous therapy. So was there anything that was helpful or maybe not helpful?
Yeah. I don't know, like the last person I saw wanted me to be going out more, or like exposing myself to that anxiety, but it kind of just made me feel like, I don't know, it always made me feel worse.
Right.
Because it kind of wasn't helping. And so I just ended up feeling guilty or mad at myself. Um, so I'd prefer probably just to be talking, rather than like pushing me to go head on.
Okay. And when you say talking, can you say a bit more about talking about what you were saying about some childhood stuff earlier? Around that, what do you mean?
Yeah, like talking about things in the past, just leading up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that really makes sense. So there'd be something about maybe in working together that what we can do is take time to be exploring things in your past and maybe exploring the kind of things that have led up to and made it difficult for you to feel that you can kind of be social. That is that the kind of thing you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely do that. I guess I'm also thinking, as you're saying that, I'm also thinking that, as we were saying, one of the things about anxiety, sometimes when we withdraw from situations, it can make things worse in the sense that things become scarier, and then things that, as we withdraw, things become scarier, and that we withdraw more, it becomes a bit more of a vicious cycle. So I wonder if, as we're working together, we can start by looking at things in the past, but it may be that at some point, it would be important to also look at what's going on in your life and in your social life, and maybe to think about how you kind of go into those situations. It sounds like how you did it before with your therapist before wasn't helpful. It felt too sudden, but I can also get a sense that, from a psychological perspective, that sometimes that can be important to do, and that just completely withdrawing maybe isn't going to be the most helpful.
Yeah, because I do want to be going out and I want it to feel fun, but I don't know, doing it so suddenly just made me end up feeling worse.
Yeah, so maybe there's something about talking about your past, exploring things in the past, but also maybe gently, or, when we're ready and we can talk about when it feels like the right time, would be about pushing yourself maybe a little bit in whatever feels comfortable, just to go forward into those situations.
Yeah, that sounds good.